Dude, One Piece chapter 502. You want to talk about a hell of a way to end a volume? After Hachi gets shot, Luffy, Hachi is grabbing this dude. He's like, this is what I get. I used to be a pirate. I did a lot of bad things. I knew that I'm being persecuted on this island. I just want to help you. I want to make it up to Nami. And you can just tell this is like his deathbed scene. I don't think he's going to die. You know, I know the Celestial thought he killed him, but this is Oda. Oda don't kill shit. So he's, just telling him like, hey man, like I was just trying to help Nami. You can tell he feels bad about everything that he did when he was part of Arlong's crew. And that's when the Celestial's just like, you annoy me. And that's when Luffy just gets up and he gives him the look. And everyone's just like, what's he gonna do? And the crazy thing is, the different pirates that are in that hall, they had been saying, like, Luffy's nuts. I wish Luffy was here to see what he's gonna do. You just got your wish. Luffy walks right up to him. And the volume ends with, ironically, my favorite punch since the Arlong punch, man. Like, for you guys who have been at this channel since the very beginning, you know that when Luffy put that hat on Nami, when she was saying, Luffy, help me, and he stopped her from stabbing herself, and he says, which one of you guys is Arlong? Arlong looks up, and he's just like, that's me. And Luffy, no hesitation, just cold clocks this dude. It's the same thing here. Luffy gives him the bloodlust look. Luffy steps up, starts walking towards him, and then just knocks him right in the face, yo. And the way it's drawn, I have to go back and look at it, but it almost looks like the Arlong shot. And the only reason why I remember the Arlong shot specifically is because I love that chapter. Like, that is still hands down my favorite chapter, favorite moment in all of One Piece so far. And the way that that was drawn, it just hit me in the same way, and it really feels as if it was drawn in the exact same manner. That's so awesome, the fact that that happened, okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is the fact that after Luffy crashes in there, that was enough to where you could tell the Celestials are probably going to be pissed. But the fact he just hit one of their own completely sells it out. Now, I want to backtrack now. I want to backtrack and just kind of touch on this growing theme of just the price of life and knowing the value of people. Because one of the things that you see is you have this pirate. He has a lowly 17 million berries for a bounty, right? And he looks out and he bites his tongue. And Sanji says he chose death over life as a slave. And it just blows my mind that Oda is diving so deeply into things like this, because the will to live, the will to survive is usually strong enough that most people won't do that. So it should tell you that he knows what's waiting for him. Instead of living a life where he has that collar on his neck that could blow up at any moment, he'd rather go ahead and die now. And he's made peace with himself. And it just shows you that these people who are bidding are pretty damn cruel. But at the same time, if you go back like in historical context, I mean, that happened. That happened. In some parts of the world, it still happens. It still happens. Like, I remember I dated a girl in college, like 2011, 12. So I first started, and one of the things that, I remember we were kind of talking, like the movie Taken, it just came out. And, she was getting ready to go overseas on a trip and everything. And I was just joking. I said, better watch it. You're going to be in the auction room. She didn't think that shit was funny. But that's the thing. That shit actually happens now. And then obviously in our country, if you just go back, it wasn't that long ago. Like, when I say it wasn't that long ago, I mean 1800s, man. Like, we're in the 2000s now, but like the late 1800s, we still had people working on plantations and stuff. Like, Civil War, all that, like mid 1800s, and then in the 40, 50 years after that, you still had people, blacks working as indentured servants, basically still living on the plantation, saying, hey, well, you were a slave here, But what we're gonna do is we gave you house and board, and now you have to pay that debt off. Like, I mean, that's the history in just about every country in the world. At some point, people were slaves. So to see that Oda's diving into this, it's really tough. It's a really big pill to swallow. It's a really big pill because you see it with every bidding. And when Cammy is just looking and she sees the guy bite his tongue off and choose death, and you see that terrified look on her face, and then you see how she has her outline, like the silhouette, and you can tell that like she's shaking at that point. Even though you don't see the tremors, you can just picture it because she's been drawn as somebody who's really innocent. And you have to remember, just a few chapters ago, she was talking as if she was living out the best time of her life, and now she's literally living a nightmare. Her dream came true, now her greatest nightmare is coming true. Really poetic how Oda just wrapped all that up into one volume so quickly. So quickly. That's really, really beautiful writing right there. And I like how you had that whole thing about persecution, and now you actually see it. Where people are saying, it's a fish man, yuck, I can't believe this. Get him away from me, he's going to give me a disease, he's going to give me a virus, yada, yada, yada. And the Celestial doesn't even hesitate. He shoots him right there, dead on the spot. And at least he thinks he shot him dead on the spot. Again, I know you guys tell me, like, if you don't see the body, Oda didn't kill him, and the fact that Hachi was still moving and speaking after the fact, Hachi's probably going to take a sensu bean or some shit and eat a devil fruit and end up being okay. Like, that's just how this shit works with One Piece, man. But I love the fact that he tried to stop Luffy. Even though he's in a lot of pain, he's still carrying that burden from what he did to Nami as a part of Arlong's crew. Even though he himself probably didn't do the most heinous things, he was still part of the crew. And you feel you're guilty by association. It just is what it is. You are the company that you keep. And he feels the guilt. He feels ashamed. And he's trying to make it up by keeping Nami's captain alive. The same captain that freed her. And in a way, Nami was a slave. She was a slave to Arlong. I guess you say she was an indentured slave, but emotionally she was in slavery as well. Arlong took everything from her and was holding the one thing she had left, her village. I mean, it's pretty telling, like the parallels. The way Oda wraps all this stuff in together is very, very beautiful, man. Very beautiful. I love seeing that. Love seeing that, man. But my chapter question to you guys is, on a scale from 1 to 10, how big did Luffy just fuck up? On a scale from 1 to 10. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video, guys. Have an awesome day.